Satan and a third of God's host was cast out of heaven and cursed to make toys for all the good little boys and girls across the world.
We're back.
We're back after a long break, a long winter's nap.
Yep, we were off for about 6 weeks, so...
Sorry about it.
Yeah,
holidays.
Since then, a lot of stuff has happened. Matt's moved to Huntsville.
I have not. I've not moved to Huntsville. I do spend some time down there. I summer down there in Huntsville.
You see summers and he winters down there sometimes too. But no, we've had a lot of stuff going on. Matt did a comedy festival last week. How was that, man?
It was really cool, man. I don't think I've been to a fest that far out. It was cool. It was in Texas, Paris, Texas, which is neat. They have an Eiffel Tower there, an Eiffel Tower replica with a cowboy hat on top of it.
Damn, dude.
Which is about as Paris, Texas as you can get.
You know, they say win in Texas, win in Paris.
In Texas, they say in Paris, Texas, instead of Sacre Bleu, they say Sacre Red because they're Republican.
Yeah, that Kanye West song is about Paris, Texas.
But yeah, me and Raina both went to the festival. It was really a good time. Made lots of connections. Listened to Misery on the drive.
Hell yeah.
Dude, such a good book. Such a good book. One of his most, King's most graphic books.
I think that's probably...
Made me very uncomfortable at times.
The movie is really good. I think the movie changes a few things slightly.
Well, a lot of stuff happens in his head in the book that you would have had to, you'd have had to film it differently.
The most notable part that's changed is the hobbling scene.
Yeah, she just cuts off 1 foot in the book. Cuts it clean off.
And cuts his thumb off, too, right?
Yeah, later.
Spoilers.
Later, she cuts his thumb off with a carving knife. She cut off his thumb with a carving knife.
There's also been a lot of good stuff we've been... You read that book. You read 5 books this month, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been traveling a lot. Some for comedy, some to see my significant other. And, I did 5 books so far, and today's the last day of January. And I just finished the 5th one today. I did Carrie, The Dead Zone, The Green Mile. Green Mile is the best one that I've read.
Yeah.
That's S tier for me. Misery, A tier. Very, very, very good. And then the End of Watch, which is the last one of the Dan Hodges trilogy. All Stephen King, all the time, baby.
We almost finished Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, too.
Yeah, that's the one we've been listening to when we go on, comedy trips, down and backs to, Atlanta, Knoxville, wherever. And, it's really good. I think we only got 40 minutes left in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's pretty much the movie and the book for that one is pretty much the same, except for Red isn't
Black.
Morgan Freeman in the book.
Yeah, the reason he's called Red is because he's Irish.
Yeah, he's got red hair. So,
which is kind of because he makes that joke.
I've just been picturing
movie.
Red as Bill Burr.
Red is Bill Burr.
Yeah.
These fucking guys.
This fucking warden, he won't let me bring my contraband into the fucking prison.
The Shaw State Prison. I fucking can't do it.
These fucking sisters, they keep trying to assault people.
Yeah.
We're going to Amigos.
Grow up.
Me and Matt and Christina after this. It's a Mexican restaurant.
Time. What's going on in the world? Oh, football. Football's been going. We are right now. Today is Wednesday. This past Sunday was the championship rounds.
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl is going to be Chiefs and Niners, 49ers.
Yeah.
People think it's a big conspiracy because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And I think that we just need to keep. Here's the thing: they think that it's rigged, right? And that the Democrats are rigging it for Kansas City, and so now all the conservatives are rooting for the bastion of conservative values, San Francisco, California.
Yeah, San Francisco. The Midwest has gotten a little too woke.
Yeah.
Time to start pulling for San Francisco. San Francisco is a one-time peace offering that the conservatives are no more making fun of all the things they make fun of.
All of the human feces in the street.
On the street.
The heroin needles that are riddling the tenderloin.
I always thought it would be it's kind of funny, San Francisco. It's if there was like every town's got like one or two, like I'm 105 years old, like like someone who's really old. It's just me. Imagine somebody who's like 105 in San Francisco and is like, I was born in 1917, and then it's like when I was born, we were the only house on the block, and my daddy was panhandled for gold, and now my next door neighbor has blue hair.
Well, I bet that if you lived in 1917 San Francisco and then you saw San Francisco through like the 80s even, that would be a pretty big culture shock.
Pretty big culture shock. I mean, because like that's what's weird about like all the California towns is like for a time, like for a small blip in American history, they were like edge of society, like quite literally. Yeah. You had to go through like fucking Texas and Oklahoma where the Comanches would just ride you down, but if you made it to that shiny simmering coast, it's a good life probably.
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco once. I didn't like it. I got lost.
Oh, I remember that. That was like what, 4 years ago or something. Yeah,
it was 2019. It was right before I got married. I'm like, I might not make it out. And then
like, there's so many hills.
Yeah. Well, I my phone was about to die, and I typed in Travelodge and like memorized the directions to the Travelodge. And didn't realize that I walked in the opposite direction to a different Travelodge. And when I got there, they're like, oh, I realized that wasn't my Travelodge. So I ducked into like a CVS and bought a phone charger and like charged my phone on my computer for a little bit and just called an Uber. Like, fuck this. I can't do this.
Yeah, you got like separated from your group, didn't you?
Well, it was just me and my coworker, and he's like, I'm going to go get a drink with somebody. And I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I'm going to go to the room. And my boss didn't make reservations early enough. He's like, I'm sure there'll be plenty of hotels in San Francisco. So we had to stay at a motel and share a room. And I'm like, this is terrible.
Oh, man, that does sound terrible.
I was drinking so much at the time. So I remember when he went to bed, I snuck out. I was, a grown-up. I can go do whatever I want. But I went and got a fifth of gin.
And drank it all?
I didn't drink it all, but I drank it all over the course of a couple days, and got a Sprite out of the soda machine.
For a mixer.
For some mixer. Those are the days.
I've never been to California, sunny California.
That's the only time I've been. My mom has been a bunch of times. One of my coworkers is in L.A. right now, so.
For work or for pleasure?
For work, I guess. She's seeing a client, Client, yeah. But yeah, it's a long way away, man. It's a long way.
It is a long way away. It is a long way away. I mean, it fucking took us like 10 hours just to get to the most eastern part of Texas. And then Texas is huge.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it is to drive from here to San Francisco to drive.
Oh, dude, I bet it's like 30 hours. Because it was 20 hours to get to New Mexico from Memphis. Or from Chattanooga. Let's see. To San Fran?
Chattanooga to San Fran. San Fran.
They don't even give you an option to drive because they're like, why would you?
Don't.
Yeah. 35 hours.
It's basically a straight shot.
Yeah.
We're basically on the same
it is a straight
latitude,
shot.
I guess. Or longitude, I don't know. I don't remember.
Whatever. It's like, just basically like, just go straight west and then go north for a little bit once you get to California.
I've been watching The Sopranos again for like the 5th or 6th time.
South of the border, down Mexico way.
Yeah, we watched that episode where everybody's mad that Junior Soprano might be gay because he's eating pussy.
Yeah, man, we were talking about this a minute ago, but like, it's funny how they're like, Tony Soprano's talking to Dr. Melfi, and she's like, do people ever, in prison? Say, what? You mean like have gay sex? Yeah, sometimes. Like, that's fine. He's like, we look the other way because, But no, like, that's fine.
Institutionalized in the story.
That's fine, but, eating pussy's gay.
Eating pussy's gay, apparently.
Yeah.
According to the mafia. One of my favorite parts of, I just watched, the first season, is the very end of the first season where they're going to, like the hit on Tony failed, and, he's going to, confront his mom. He, grabs a pillow, and he's going to, suffocate her apparently, and then they're like, "Oh, Mr. Soprano, we're so glad you're here. Your mother's had a stroke," and they like are taking her out and like on like a gurney, and he like get down. He's like, "I know what you did.
I know what you
I know what you did." And the guy's like, "Mister, she can't understand you." And he's like, "Yes, she can." He's like, "Mister, you're gonna need to step aside." And he's like, "Listen here, George Clooney," which is so funny because it was like in 1998 where George Clooney was mainly known for being the doctor on ER, and like it makes sense now because it's like, "Listen here, George Clooney, medical this, medical that."
But looking back, it's like, oh, Tony just gave this guy a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Listen here, man. You're one of the sex symbols of a generation.
Listen, I know you're beautiful, but shut the hell up.
Yeah.
It's like, what if he was like, now it'd be like, no, like, if he was like referencing a movie or something, he's like, "Listen here, George Clooney." He's like, "That's right, Mr. Soprano. It was the perfect storm of medical intervention that saved your mother." Or like,
what do you think George Clooney is most known for now?
Probably the Oceans. "Listen, Mr. Soprano, we didn't steal your mother.
Yeah.
She from a casino. She had a stroke."
See, like, I think of George Clooney from the Batman movies.
The Batman movies.
I love those
the
Batman
nipples,
movies.
the nipple suits.
Those are to protect his nipples,
You love those? Those are your favorite
When I was
ones?
a kid, I loved them.
Well, he was only in one.
Well, okay, I loved that movie. I thought
Michael Keaton was
Michael Keaton was the...
I mean, it depends on what you say, because in the new Flash movie, George Clooney makes an appearance at the very end, and everyone's like, "Oh, shit." But Michael Keaton was Batman, Batman Returns. Val Kilmer, Batman and Robin.
What's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Mr.
Batman
Freeze?
Forever, then Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin.
Who's in that one?
George Clooney. That's the George Clooney one. And Uma Thurman plays Poison Ivy.
I was a huge Batman fan as a kid, and my grandma took me to see that one when it came out, and it was rated PG-13, and I was 4 years old.
4? Dang.
And
the stuff with Poison Ivy gets a little risque.
Right. And so after I saw the movie, my grandma, took me back to my house, my mom and dad's house, and they're like, "Okay, Andrew, it's time for bed." And I said, "Damn it."
Really?
I learned it from the movie. I learned it from Batman. They're like, "It's a bad word. You can't say that." They literally washed my mouth out with soap. And it was like so conflicting because it's like, look, guys.
Because it was Batman soap.
Batman, yeah, right. Batman's one of the good guys. We've already established this. If Batman can say it, I can say it. It's bullshit.
Grown-up good guys can say "damn."
Yeah, but
not children. Children can't. Children of the good or bad variety.
Yeah.
Even supervillains don't let their kids say "damn."
And it didn't
work. Are you gonna let your kid cuss?
Dude, I think there's like a.
I think it'd be so funny if you let your kids cuss and your mom and like your grandma and everything. And you're like, "No, this is my house. We allow it."
I feel like there's like a like when you're first learning how to talk, cuss words are like at an all-time funniest.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny seeing a little kid cuss.
Oh, it's hilarious.
But then like when you get to be like 5 or 6, it's like, "Oh, this is
sad."
Right. It's like you have bad parents.
It's like someone calls like they smoke too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like if you see a 7-year-old using the F word, he also steals cigarettes from his like his parents that are barely there.
But if you see a 3-year-old cuss, like
it's hilarious.
That's just fun.
So funny when they're like still like almost lisping.
Yeah, fuck. Like that's so funny.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is so funny. I love little kids cussing is the funniest.
Yeah.
So you're gonna set a hard limit. He's allowed to cuss until 4 years old.
I think 4 is the limit. Once you start going into school, like I don't know. I think you have to. You can't cuss and believe in Santa Claus. I think that's maybe my rule. You got to pick one. Like once you stop believing in Santa Claus, okay, maybe you can like say "damn" and "ass" and "hell."
The little kid's like, "Dad, this is fucking bullshit." And you're like, "No, you know what's fucking bullshit, son? Santa Claus."
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
For Christmas, my dad did the funniest thing. Like my dad's like I love my dad, but he's a very hardcore. Like he's like. He's listened to conservative radio for the past 25 years. But he did something that made me laugh so hard. He gave me for my Christmas gift. He got me this nice set of sheets.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me in a bag that had a black Santa Claus on it. The bag had a black Santa Claus. And it's just so funny because it's just like my dad's like, "Well, Matthew likes black people, all right.
It's like Kevin from The Office. No, it was Toby from The Office who gets the like Princess Unicorn for his daughter.
Oh yeah,
from Daryl, and it's a black Princess Unicorn.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And he's like, "What is there a problem?"
Honestly, I viewed it. My dad getting me a bag, like giving me a gift with a bag that had a black Santa Claus. I viewed it as him like reaching across the aisle.
Yeah, right. He's like, "Look,"
because my dad thinks I'm like blue hair,
yeah,
crazy liberal. And like all my blue hair crazy liberal friends think that I'm like not that.
Yeah, they think you're conservative, but one of the good ones.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not. I'm one of the bad ones.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's all kinds of stuff now. I hate election years. Oh man, I need to just get off the internet.
Yeah,
but
dude, I was thinking that today too. It's just driving
election
me crazy.
year, yeah.
It's getting me all worked up.
Did you see that like somebody tried to go into a Kamala Harris rally? Which, first of all, what are you doing? You know, like, if you're going to a Kamala Harris rally, like, no one there's on the fence.
A Kamala Harris rally?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
And these two women had hijabs on, and they were trying to get in, and the bouncer, like, wouldn't let them in. I don't know. Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe I fell for it.
Why wouldn't you let them in?
I don't know.
Of Islamophobia?
I think it's maybe because of, Hamas stuff or something. But
did you see the thing where... I definitely don't want this to turn into a thing where we talk about politics all the time. But did you see the one that came out today about the guy who like cut his like 70-year-old dad's head off?
Bro, yes.
He was like, my dad has been psyoped by the Biden administration. He like goes on YouTube with his dad. Like, remember when Kathy Griffin had that picture of her holding the fake Trump head that had been cut off? He did that for real.
Well, I thought you were gonna say is the guy that beheaded the Baphomet statue in the Iowa State Supreme Court.
Funny. Dude, the fucking governments just keep like, they're like, I saw where like, I think it's North Carolina, it's like, oh, we're bringing a bill back to have the 10 Commandments put back in here in the Capitol. And it's just like, this is like, do we really have to teach you this lesson again, old man?
Yeah. Well, and like the Baphomet statue, like, okay, I'm not a Satanist. I'd have to say that because my grandma might be watching. But it looks cool, man. It looks cool, right?
Yeah,
like,
Baphomet does look
spooky
cool.
and
he's
like...
all like... And he's like... It's like weird because he's like kind of zen. He's
right.
Well, I mean, that's like for the Satanic Temple, which doesn't believe in like Satan as like a deity.
But isn't there another one that does believe that Satan's real?
LaVeyan Satanism.
See, that's one I don't get. But, you know...
the LaVeyan Satanism is like what most people think of as like, you know, devil worship.
So which sect did the West Memphis 3 belong to?
They I mean, probably the most likely one is, I mean, I don't even think it was around them, but I mean the Satanic Temple, because that one, they think that like Satan is like a representation.
Do what you will, whatever.
Yeah. Of like, you know, nonconformity and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. Man,
go to church, kids.
Yeah, go to. That's what my mom keeps saying. You know, she's like, "You're gonna raise this kid in church."
What are you gonna do?
No,
dude, it's so funny. Like my parents were the same way. It's so important to be in church. If I could go back and change one thing about my childhood, I think it would be that I wasn't raised in church.
Like I've so much like.
It caused me so many complexes and like fucking weird stuff going on in my head.
I had so much like fucking like baggage in my early 20s and late teens because of all that.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to hell.
Yeah, exactly. I dropped out of college because of it. You know, no, I'm not going to raise the kid in church. We're watching cartoons on Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sundays are for the boys.
Sundays are for the boys. And by the time that my kid's old enough, they're going to have like fucking NFL games in like Germany and London and Brazil. It's going to be football wall to wall for 15 hours on Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. I would never, like, I don't have kids. I don't have one on the way. But if I did, it's like I wouldn't be like, oh, you can't go to church.
Sure, no,
like,
of course.
Don't, like, it's just weird because, like, I was, like, indoctrinated.
Same. And it's like, what's so funny is, like, you learn about, like, Jesus and Santa Claus at the same time. Literally the same holiday.
It's like Jesus is Santa is Jesus's buddy.
And like whenever I learned that Santa Claus wasn't real, my mom is like, I'm like, well, is Jesus real? And she's like, yes, yes. It's like, well, maybe don't have them so linked. I don't know.
My mom was like, the elves are the fallen angels.
Yeah.
No, not really.
The elves are the angels that had relations with mortals.
And then Satan and a third of God's host was cast out of heaven and cursed to make toys for all the good little boys and girls across the world.
It would be so confusing for like future like archaeologists to try to figure out like what's the deal with like the Christian religion and like the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus, and also like how the Tooth Fairy is involved.
You know what? Something that's super embarrassing. I believed in the Tooth Fairy for like a year longer than I believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believed in the Tooth Fairy for like a year longer.
Yeah.
It's so funny. My cousin Brandon ruined Santa Claus for me. He's like 2.5, 3 years older. He's like, "Oh, you still believe in Santa?" We had like this big heart-to-heart, and I was like, "Mom, Brandon said Santa's not real."
That's so funny.
She's like, "He's not real," but I'm like, "But what about the Tooth Fairy?" They're like, "No, but yes." Like your mom with Jesus.
Yes. The Tooth Fairy
is real.
It's like, the thing about the Tooth Fairy is like, it's not like I don't want to ruin the holiday for my kids. You know, like the Tooth Fairy
can come at any time.
Yeah.
We never did the Easter Bunny. Like, I never believed in the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny was definitely the first one to go for me. The Easter Bunny got me the Dragon Ball Z action figures that I wanted. I remember that's one of the things I did get. I got a Trunks action figure.
Ooh, like adult Trunks? Was it like with his sword and stuff?
Yes, with his sword.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We might have talked about this before, but what's really funny to me about Dragon Ball Z is that every time a new Dragon Ball Z episode comes out, cartel activity goes down.
What, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I think Dragon Ball Z is
I have not heard this. That's crazy.
Dragon Ball Z is the one show that, like, bridges racial and, like, cultural divides for men and boys. I think age, too. Like, pretty much, I think every man under 40
loves anime.
Well, especially Dragon Ball Z. Like, I think that almost everybody loves Dragon Ball Z.
Like when you were a kid.
Right. But I think I don't know. I think it's one of the things, like, white guys love Dragon Ball Z. Black guys love Dragon Ball Z. Hispanic guys love Dragon Ball Z. Asian guys love Dragon Ball. We all love Dragon Ball Z.
It was great. Dragon Ball is actually better than Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't give a fuck.
In Japan, it's all called Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But, like, here, for some reason, they released the second half first.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
I think that's why I didn't get into Dragon Ball as much. I'm like, these people aren't even fucking that strong.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's the problem with Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Is it, like, infinitely... The power's just got to keep going up.
Right. It's like, well, now there's...
like, each time they're like, oh, he's 1,000 times stronger than Frieza was.
Yeah.
And it's like, new transformation, new hair color...
In terms of, like, things that I fantasized about most in my life, the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z has to be up there.
Why did you fantasize about that? You grow older in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Dude, just like you're studying for a test, you're like, oh, man, I wish I had a hyperbolic time chamber. Basically just to procrastinate.
Yeah, because you would be playing video games
Exactly, dude. Exactly. You just can procrastinate your life away in the hyperbolic.
Andrew would be like in the 5th grade.
Yeah, dude.
Looking like he's 62 years old.
I would still be...
Because you wasted your life in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Without a doubt, I would still be in college if I had the hyperbolic time chamber. You're like, you have to get up and go to the airport early. It's like, well, I'm just going to sleep for another 7 hours in my hyperbolic time chamber.
And like only a millisecond passes.
Yeah.
I think there was like some rules. Like you could only use it like once every so often or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had one. I would like, I don't know. That's the thing though. I would die so young. I would look like I was Benjamin Button or something.
Do you remember the guy from the Guinea Force, Guido or something like that?
That was definitely not his name.
The little green guy?
Yeah, I think so.
What was his name? Look it up. But remember his like whole thing, the reason he was on the Guinea Force, because he was like weaker than everybody else. But whenever he held his breath, it would like stop time.
Let's see, Guinea Force pose. Oh yeah, the fat little green guy.
Yeah, with like eyes on the side of his head. Goldo? No, that's something else, I think. Members. Begins with a G.
Goldo.
Goldo.
He's got
What did I
fish
say,
eyes.
Guido?
Yeah.
But anyway, he could hold his breath and like stop or slow down time.
Yeah.
And I always was wondered as a kid, like what would happen if he went to the hyperbolic time chamber and then held his breath? It's like the universe just explodes, or like there's some sort of like break in the time continuum.
Or he can just like I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah.
The coolest guy on the Guinea Force was Birder. He's the tallest green guy.
Blue?
Yeah,
blue
he's
guy?
also the fastest thing in the universe at the time. Like, he was faster than anybody else. Raccoon was cool. He was just dumb. Jace was cool. I had a cousin named Jace. Who the hell is that?
I never saw this one. The woman Ginyu Force member?
What? I've never seen that either.
This is like a porn version or something that's made up.
Is a former Ginyu Force member. What? Nappa wasn't on the Ginyu Force. Appears in the short subquest in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I guess there's just a member that was in the Ginyu Force for a time. Nappa was in the Ginyu Force?
I don't think so.
Don't make no
Future
sense.
Warrior. Future Warrior, wasn't that? Oh, I don't know. See, this is getting out of my depth.
Yeah, who are these people?
Yeah.
Well, some of this is like from the video games and stuff. It just goes so... It gets so big.
But another thing I'm excited about this year is the Olympics. Olympics is happening this year.
Is flag football in it this year?
Not this year. It's in 4 years.
4 years.
But they did add 4 new sports to the Olympics. Do you know what they are?
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Scooter?
Not scooter. Close.
Breakdancing, I think I heard you.
Breakdancing, exactly.
What else?
Did I tell you about that?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Skateboarding.
I thought they were already in there. Skateboarding's cool.
Surfing.
Surfing?
And like climbing.
Like rock climbing?
I think so. Like sport climbing. I don't know.
Interesting.
But I'm most excited for breakdancing. That's gonna be so much fun, man. Like what I think the breakdancing might like overtake gymnastics in terms of like popularity.
I kind of doubt that. That'd be cool, but I kind of doubt it.
Dude, it's gonna be so fun.
It's just a bunch of b-boys
and b-girls.
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop. We definitely were talking about this because we were talking about that's hip hop.
Just out there, like it'd be so funny if they just used like a broken down cardboard box.
Yeah,
like the movies.
Yeah, I think that the judges should have to be like, they should look like they're from Cyberpunk or something. You know what I mean? Like you can't just have people in suits judging these b-boy competitions.
Yeah, just like an old Russian lady.
Yeah, you got to have somebody who looks like they're from Blade Runner. You know what I mean?
Oh, so is like Russia going to send people to the Olympics?
I think they're going to do the same thing they did last time, where there's like the artists formerly known as Russia.
Oh, where
you know what I mean? They're like the Russian athletic forces, but it's like not technically Russia, and they can't have their flag. I don't know. It's all such bullshit.
It's all weird. It's all weird.
But yeah, it's the Olympics, man. Here's the thing about the Olympics: they don't air live, so they're hard to gamble on. You know. That's what I like about sports is like to gamble.
You can gamble on them.
You can, but you can't watch it live while you gamble because they tape it.
Well, where are the Olympics this year? Paris?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. If they're close, then maybe.
If they're I think I heard they're in Paris.
Paris.
Hey,
you were just there.
Yeah, the Olympics are in Paris.
Yeah,
Texas.
it's in Central Time. So
you know what was one of the interesting things about Paris, Texas? They have like a huge cemetery there.
Yeah.
With over 50,000 people buried in it.
Damn, how many people live there?
30,000.
Wow. So if the dead come to life, it's going to be no contest.
Yeah. It's going to be insane.
How many people do you think are buried at the Chattanooga, like a military cemetery?
A lot, because military cemeteries pack them in with efficiency.
Yeah.
Look it up. I bet you could find out.
Yeah, okay.
Chattanooga Memorial Cemetery or something. Because they pack the things in. Like they used to have like unknown soldiers. Well, I didn't see.
Okay, guess how many people are in the Chattanooga Memorial Park?
I'm going to guess 20,000.
44,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
But this isn't like a memorial cemetery. The one I'm talking about is like in Paris, Texas, is like a regular cemetery.
That's just the people that used to, maybe Paris, Texas used to be like a bustling metropolis.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, is like, it's like they did like, they developed the town and then I guess it's like stopped growing.
Yeah.
Because like the streets, the crosswalks are like always going, and it'll like there'll be like nobody anywhere, and it'll be like beep can cross in 5 seconds, beep, 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 and there's so many. Everything's one-way streets with nobody driving down them.
Huh? Sounds like a ghost town.
It kind of was. One guy had a funny thing they said about that because it was like a seance show.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think we're having the seance to try and revive some of the businesses around here. It's a good joke.
What did that guy say that you thought was really funny? That one-liner?
Can I say that on this?
Maybe not. I'll cut it. I'll just cut that part. Okay. What else we got?
I don't know. We're gonna go eat some Mexican.
Yeah, I think we got some funny stuff we can clip. There
was something else we were gonna talk about.
Was it about the Scoville units?
No. Yeah, I think that was it. Actually,
I was looking up the Scoville unit stuff the other day. And how they basically just guess. It's just a guy tasting peppers and being like, "Yeah, that one's pretty hot. It's probably hotter than I would say it's 10 times hotter than the last one."
Just imagine, like you're saying, do that with other stuff. And it's just like imagine a guy like with just like the sour index.
Yeah,
he's just like, sour Skittles are 25 times as sour than the regular Skittles.
Yeah. Or it's like, you can do it with like things that feel good. The pleasure index.
The pleasure index. Hedonism.
Hedonism.
Well, the one that you said, you're like, well, I think fentanyl gets you about 15 times as messed up.
Yeah, as Percocet.
Percocets and Loratabs.
Oh, okay. I got some jokes I'm working on. I want to riff some of these out with you. The thing I was writing earlier this week is about a true story that happened to me. I think I told you about it already. But about the hot dog thief at the Pilot gas station.
Yes, he was a corn dog thief.
Corn dog thief, yeah, exactly. So this guy, I was on the way to a show in Knoxville a couple of weeks ago, and I went to go to Pilot because I like to stop there. They got good coffee, clean bathrooms. They got the guy that owns it. It's the dude that donates all that money to the Vols.
Really?
Yeah. I think they just sold it, but he used to be the governor, Haslam, the Haslam family. Billy Haslam, yeah, they started Pilot, yeah. That's how they made their money.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I should tweet Billy Haslam about this corn dog thief, because this guy, he's wearing he's an old white guy, probably in his 60s. He's wearing a jacket kind of like this. He's got like pajama bottoms on, and he goes to the hot dog container area, and he takes 8 corn dogs and puts them in his pocket and walks out. And I'm not like a snitch or anything, but I am a little mad that I didn't get one of those corn dogs, man.
On a scale of like 1 to homeless, where was this guy?
Homeless being like a 10, 1 being like he's Billy Haslam. He was probably an 8. He needed these corn dogs more than I did. I don't care if you steal the corn dogs.
It'd be so funny. You know how like they have like certain cities, they'll have like the receptacles where you can like go. You can go drop off your heroin needles.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny if you do that with corn dog sticks.
They probably have one of those needle
just
deposits.
Like a corn dog stick deposit receptacle.
They probably have one of those in the Pilot bathroom.
Probably.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah, dude. Because these truckers, they love corn dogs. Actually, he might have just been a trucker. That's the thing, man. It's hard to tell if someone's like homeless or they just
or a trucker.
Or a trucker. And like that's like one of the most intense jobs.
The thing about a trucker is like he can steal and then he's gone.
Right.
I love that Buc-ee. Some people are like, how dare Buc-ee's not support the great American trucker?
Yeah.
But like, thank God.
I guess.
What do you mean, you guess?
I just feel bad for those truckers.
Listen. If truckers were allowed in Buc-ee's, those bathrooms wouldn't be a tenth as clean.
Dude, I was looking at the wages for Buc-ee's the other day. I went to Buc-ee's on the
They
way
pay so much.
the way back from Atlanta. Like, cashiers get paid $19 an hour.
Yeah.
And the restroom team gets paid $20 an hour. You get $1 more an
The
hour.
restroom team.
Yeah, you get $1 more an hour to just hang out in the restroom and clean up human shit.
I'm in the restroom team.
I would just like, okay, I guess I'm going to get paid $40 less a week and not have to get poop on me.
You've never actually been to Raina's house, but she's like, when I pass the Buc-ee's on the way to her house, I'm 9 minutes. She's 9-minute drive.
Hell yeah. Dude, do you want... So my show got canceled on Friday. I was supposed to go to Atlanta on Friday. Do you want to go to that mic in Huntsville, the stand-up live mic?
Sure, I guess so, yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I just don't know if he'll get on.
I feel like if I can talk to Scott or somebody, maybe we can pull some strings. I feel like if we drive all the way down there, they're going to let us on.
Hopefully.
They let Jeff on.
Yeah.
Man, Jeff's mad.
Yeah. This is just where we did. The podcast is just now we are airing our own like personal relationship.
Yeah,
like
Jeff's
life
mad.
relationship. What's Jeff mad about?
Well,
they don't know who Jeff is.
oh,
Jeff
you guys
Gordon.
know Jeff Greenspan, of course. You guys know Jeff. He's a staple.
Dude, my dad probably thought Jeff Gordon was gayer than Jeff Greenspan.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Greenspan is less outwardly gay
The Jeff
than
Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon drove the Tide car, didn't he?
No, the DuPont. He drove.
It was the rainbow car, though, right?
It was pretty colorful, I think. I don't really remember. My dad was in a NASCAR. He hated Jeff Gordon. My dad always liked weird NASCAR drivers. He's like, my favorite NASCAR driver is Ryan Newman.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, who's that? And he's like, I just think he's a good man. Yeah, that was it right there. I guess it is kind of.
Well, that's why they made him. That's why they didn't. I think that's part of it.
He was just young, like when he just like came on the scene and was like the best, or like one of the best right away. And people are like, no, he's like a young, like metrosexual type dude, and they're like, no, we like our NASCAR drivers. The fewer teeth, the better.
We want our NASCAR drivers to look like a human cigarette.
Yeah, a human cigarette. The DuPont Chevrolet.
Dude, looking back, he looks like he's a pretty manly guy. He's got a great mustache.
Well, dude, everybody was more manly by like that metric in like the fucking 90s than they are now.
He's got a Baby Ruth.
By like the way, like an old man metric of what it is to be a man.
Baby Ruth jacket, Bush Light hat.
Baby Ruth. Baby Ruth.
That is probably the gayest candy bar name.
Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth. What's the best candy bar you think?
The best?
The best candy bar.
That's a real tough question. Like,
what's your favorite candy bar?
I go through stages. Like, when's the last time you had $100,000 bar?
It's like, isn't that the peanut butter and peanut candy bar?
No.
What do they have? What's it in $100,000?
$100,000's like a caramel chew type candy bar.
That shows how long it's been. But
they're good
it's
as
definitely
fuck,
not
but, like,
in my top 10.
They're good.
You know what my favorite is? The underrated candy bar?
What?
Mr. Good Bar.
Mr. Good Bar?
See, like, Mr. Good Bar doesn't even claim to be, like, it's that good. It's just like, we're good. We're not great.
We're good enough. Yeah.
It's just chocolate and
don't call
peanuts.
it Mr. Great Bar.
Yeah. Heath Bar.
Heath Bar's...
So good.
Yeah, but it's just like... There's no... Butterfinger's probably my favorite.
Butterfinger will take a filling out.
Yeah, that cakes up on top of your mouth.
I think, though, that if you're just talking about classic candy bar... Snickers good. But just a mainstream popular candy bar, Kit Kat. Hard to go wrong.
I don't even... Yeah, Kit Kats are good, but I guess technically by definition it's a candy bar. But it's more like a something else to me.
It's like a
wafer. Yeah, because it's like... And they don't... It doesn't come in like
talking to the mic.
It doesn't come in like a... like a rectangle, like a...
Yeah.
It's more like a big... I guess
it's not like long.
Rectangle. Yeah. You don't like just bite it. But I mean, that's...
You can if you're a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
If you just eat it... If you eat a Kit Kat bar without breaking it apart, you're crazy.
That's how they're going to choose the next Dalai Lama.
Yeah. Oh man, I think Biden should be the next Dalai Lama.
Hey, y'all.
Hey Jack,
Hey, Jack.
I'm looking to get enlightenment.
Hey, don't want you to eat your Kit Kat bar.
I don't want nobody eating Kit Kats.
Hey, you're not you when you're hungry.
That's a Kit Kat saying, you know.
Kit
Sometimes I go get ice cream and I tell them to put little Kit Kats on it.
I say, hey, buddy, I'll see you on payday,
Yeah.
and I'll buy a Kit Kat bar.
The richest man in the world, he has $100,000.
People say it's like they call the bar $100,000. 100 seems pretty poor to me.
Yeah. You were just watching this video though of Biden saying like, you go to check your balance, that's $30. So what the fuck are you talking about, man? You go to the ATM.
Call the bank to check your balance.
You go to
$30.
Go to the ATM. That's $100. I think Biden's getting tricked by his bank. You know, when's the last time Biden's been in a bank? If Biden went into the bank, they would think he was robbing it because they think he's like one of these people wearing a president mask.
The dead president.
Yeah.
What was that movie? Point Break.
Yeah. Oh shit, we're getting robbed.
We're getting robbed.
Hey Jack, I got $30 here. I want to check my balance.
That's really funny. I think I might get myself a sucker.
Yeah.
Do banks still give away suckers?
That's a good question, man. The bank next to my house, they give my dog a treat. I went to the bank with my dog in the car. They gave him like a little bone.
A little puppuccino.
And he fucking turned his nose up at it. He didn't eat it.
Kevin turned his nose up
he
to
didn't
a
want
bank.
it. I had to throw it away. I'm going to tell him their treats are too stale. No, I think they should just give the dog suckers too, you know? Give the dogs chicken bones.
Dude, I remember going to the bank with my mom every time. I'd be like, sucker, please.
Yeah.
And like the suckers, for some reason, at the bank or at my hometown, weren't like, it was like a sucker. It didn't have like a normal just stick that you held. It had like a stick, what the stick is made of, but it made a ring. It made like.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. That's like some. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then they give away balloons too.
Yeah.
I'll just be sucking on the helium, doing Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Have you seen that video of the guy who's at a music festival and he's selling balloons, implying they're full of nitrous and they're full of helium?
It's so funny.
You can kill somebody that way. Don't do that. But it's really funny. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff.
How much helium do you have to do for it to be bad?
I don't know. It can collapse your lung, though, especially if you're doing it like people do nitrous, where they suck it in, then blow it out, and then suck it in, then blow it out, you know?
I could see that.
But yeah, I'm gonna start finding out. I'm gonna try to get when we have a newborn. We'll have a newborn baby. I'll go to the bank and try to get a sucker. You know, give this little baby a sucker. No, I think they should just
put it up in the deposit chute.
Yeah,
just get sucked up.
I think they should give dogs just whatever leftovers from lunch they had. You know, give them some chicken bones. Give them like a half-eaten Panera Pick 2 sandwich.
Pick 2 sandwich. I don't need a Panera. What's that?
Oh, dude, it's not a good deal anymore. But used to they still have it, but it's like you get half a sandwich and like a cup of soup, or like half a sandwich and half a salad. You know,
half a sandwich is an interesting concept because it's like it's really just a sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Like no, there's
a small sandwich.
There's no like.
Well, there's
no metric for like a sandwich. Like if you just cut the bread. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but the reason why they call it half a sandwich is because they make a full sandwich.
It's like a rectangle.
They make a full sandwich, and then the guy making it just eats the other half.
Damn, I need that job.
Dude, right? Like, that'd be a sick job. You're eating, like, fucking 10 or 12 sandwiches.
I eat, like, 15, 16 half sandwiches a day. I drink potato soup.
Yeah.
I drink it up.
But, yeah, I'm getting hungry. We should go... to Amigos.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Well, guys, we appreciate all 12 of you for watching.
If we
have 12, that'll be sick.
We're going to get back in the rhythm.
Yeah,
we're going to get back in the rhythm. We were getting to a little bit of a rhythm, and then the holidays happened. We're going to get back at it. We're going to get back at it, guys.
We're going to clip it. We're going to post it.
Hey, guys.
Jack. Cool.
Jack. Oh, Jack.
Okay, see you later. Have a good night.